guys, it's Grayson. Welcome if you are new and welcome back if you are not new. If you have not already, pretty please subscribe to my channel, leave this video a thumbs up if you are feeling it, and ring that bell if you want to get notified when I upload. I upload twice a week. And if you're interested in more fun makeup content, I also do a bunch of stuff over on Instagram, so please follow me there as well. I have all of my links to everything in my description box, link to my Instagram, links to all of my discounts. So if you see any companies you like to shop from, make sure you check that out so you can save some money and support your girl. And let's go ahead and get into today's video. We are here to talk about the Jeffree Star Blood Money collection, which I'm sure you can tell by the title, but I did not get the whole collection. I just got a few items for this because I'm not a big green person. As you can see, I already have the eye look on, which I do include creating the eye look toward the end of the video, so make sure you stick around for that. I was not feeling false lashes today, but I did do a wing and just like built up my mascara. But we're going to talk about this situation. So I collect Jeffree palettes. I own every palette he's ever made, so that's why I of course had to snag the palette. And this is the lovely unit carton that it came in, and then the beautiful palette. Of course, it had a protector over top of this emblem in the top of here. You press this little button to the side and it opens like this, and that is the palette. It did have a shadow protector and a mirror protector, and it's just got your lovely dollar signs in here and a bunch of fun like pan stamps. And then I also grabbed the lip balm that he came out with. So this is the Stoned Balm, and then the gloss in the shade Untouchable, because I was really intrigued by this brown gloss. So I am wearing that, and it's a very nice gloss. Oh, that's warping with the filter. Love that. But super pretty brown gloss. I love brown lipsticks, so I was intrigued by the brown gloss. Jeffree's gloss formula is really, really good. I also like the balms. I enjoyed the lip balm that he came out with Shane, so that's why I grabbed this one. It is in a like bullet form, but both very nice products. And if you do not have Jeffree glosses, I do highly recommend them. I tried both of the like regular gloss and then the ones that have like glitters and stuff in them. They're all absolutely gorgeous, and I want to say they retail for $18, and then I don't remember what the balm retailed for. Of course, I'm always like really bad about memorizing prices before I film because, you know, so much going on, so many things, and I'm also annoyed with my hair today, so just ignore me. So we have palette retails at $52. The balm retails for $18, which now that I'm looking at that, kind of crazy for a lip balm. And then the glosses are also $18 as well. So basically like all his lip products kind of retail at $18. But this palette, it performed really well. Like, it's beautiful. Jeffree's formula is beautiful. I'm just not the biggest green shadows person. I don't reach for green palettes very often, but I had to of course have this for my collection. So let's go ahead and go through all of the shades, and we'll go ahead and do swatches as well because we're here. So let's go ahead and jump in to each row, shade names, and all that fun stuff. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through the shade names, and yes, you can like see my table covered in all of my makeup mess, but we have, let's see, Divine Intervention. I did use this shade on my inner corner. We have Mint Condition. This was a really pretty shade. I did not use this shade today. Chameleon Fetish, Poison Ivy, Make It Rain, Crocodile Tears, Equity, Money Heist, CEO, Emerald Estate, Heavy Weighted, Jaded, Private Island, Self-Made, Tax-Free, Persuasion, Secret Stash, and Black Card Limit. So they're all of course like kind of green or money kind of names. And then Crocodile Tears of course was named after a liquid lip. of his. So let's go ahead and swatch the first row, and this is a 18 pan palette. So Divine Intervention is what I have on my inner corner and my brow bone highlight, and it's this really fun, like it almost looks white in the pan, but then as you can see, you have this major green shift going on. Everything in here, I feel like, except for like maybe 2 shades, has green something happening in it. So it's definitely a green palette. If you love green, this is for you. And then we have Mint Condition, which I have now ruined the little credit card and the pan stamp. It's one thing that sucks about having to swatch and use the palettes is ruining the pan stamps, but this is a gorgeous mint teal color. It like matches my shirt. This is actually like my favorite color, like my favorite color in general in life. And then we have Chameleon Fetish, which is a massively neon green. And I think like already like these colors put together, if I went with something lighter today, that would have been a fun thing to do, but I wanted to go into some of the deeper tones. This Chameleon Fetish, since it is neon, it is having a little bit of a fallouty moment, but nothing too terrible, and it is a pretty color, and this is over like nothing, so I'm sure over like a white base would be beautiful. Then we have Poison Ivy, and this shade is like really bringing me back to the Alien palette. Like I feel like this green is like that same thing from the Alien palette. Let's actually pull it. So I think it's actually the shade Alien in this palette. Yeah, okay. So this is the Alien palette, and just for fun, I'm gonna go into Alien and swatch it right underneath Poison Ivy. Okay. This one is like, I would say maybe a little lighter than Poison Ivy, but like those shades, I knew it was like giving me a little flashback moment there. And then we have 2 more shades in this row. This has a little like Money with Wings little stamp going on. This is Make It Rain. Just a nice matte like money green. And then we have Crocodile Tears, which I did use in my outer corner today, and it is like this more like, I don't know, it's like kind of turquoisey, kind of foresty green, really pretty. So that was the first row, plus a little swatch comparison from the Alien palette because it was just giving me a moment. Oh, and Crocodile Tears looks like Flying Saucer. This is like his other palette that has green, so I'm like, let me just compare. So this is Flying Saucer. So it's a little bit darker, but the kind of like tones are kind of relating. So I just had to throw those in there. So let me go ahead and clean up the first row swatches, if I can talk today, and then we will get into the second row. Okay, so we definitely got a little bit of staining from some of the darker greens, and I'm kind of wondering if it says Artistry palette. Okay, so we do have some pressed pigments in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a guess without having to read all this teeny tiny little writing. This was the cover that was on the front that I stuck on the back of the box, but without having to read through all this tiny writing, I'm gonna go ahead and take a guess that like Crocodile Tears seems like a pressed pigment because of the way that it swatched and the way that it kind of stained. So that is just a guess on that, and I'm not sure if we have other pigments in here, but let's go ahead and keep on swatching. So this is the shade Equity. I used this shade on my outer corner today. It's like this very like fun olive tone green, which is like my favorite kind of green if I have to like green. And then this is my favorite shade, I think, in the palette. It's Money Heist, and it looks like it's gonna be like more bronzy, but then like when you apply it, it's actually what's on like my inner portion of my lid, and it gets just like really green. Like it's gold green, I don't know, it's got a weird thing going on. And it had like a little ski mask in the pan, which is now completely like destroyed from me using it. And then right next to it is a nice like deep gold shade, which is CEO, and I think that is definitely more just like a yellow gold. I don't see any like green going on in that shade particularly. And then I did use Emerald Estate, which is kind of on my center lid, like blending into the darker matte greens on the outside. And this shade reminded me of that like blue glittery shade. I forget what it was called from the Blue Blood palette, but this one was not as crumbly. That blue one in the Blue Blood palette was freaking awful. it was everywhere, sprinkled all over the face, like not cute at all. And this one actually is like, it stays in place, it's not extra chunky, and it's really, really pretty. So it actually worked really nicely. And then we have Heavy Weighted, which I'm not sure, I forget what this symbol is in it. I don't know what it's for, I forget. But it's like this blue that we have in this palette, and it definitely leans in that turquoise situation, so it's still kind of like green, but it's definitely like a blue shade. Very, very pretty actually. I'm not a big blues person either. Greens and blues I'm never really like drawn to, but they are pretty colors. And then we have Jaded, which is the last shade in this row, and it is a dark green, and it's actually really pretty, like a dark forest green, super pretty. And then since I have a few more fingers left, we'll go ahead and just start with the third row. We have Private Island, which is like this, it's almost like this nude, like deep shade, but the way it is, it kind of has like this like green sort of depth to it, and I use that as the base shade all over my lid. And then I also use Self-Made, which is the next shade over. It has a nice $sign in the pan. This shade was a little interesting to apply and blend, and it's just this green is like darker and then this green is lighter, but it's a pretty color, but it was definitely one of the ones that I had trouble with on a brush. And then we have Tax Free, which now that I'm swatching it, the way it looks in the pan, it's like even prettier when you swatch it, but it's kind of got this like deep dark shift, and then it goes into this lighter business. I don't know, it's really pretty. I feel like it would go really good with some of the more gold shades. And then Persuasion is actually a brown that has this like leaning green sort of depth to it, but it is like a deep cool tone green brown hybrid sort of shade, if I had to like try to give it a description. And then I'm just gonna clean off 2 fingers real quick, and we'll swatch the last 2 shades. So we have Secret Stash, which my pan is actually kind of like dipping for this shade. I'm not like too worried about it. It has like a vault door in it, and it is this really, really interesting like turquoise shift, like it looks like brown kind of, and it's very, very interesting. And then Black Card Limit, I'm kind of intrigued by this because it's got like those sparkles in it. It's definitely black, and it's got these glitters in it that look almost like silver, but then they also got some green going on, so like a silvery green kind of reflect to it. So that's swatching the entire palette. Beautiful formula. I mean, it's Jeffree's formula. I'm just, like I said, I'm not living over this palette. I know everybody was waiting for a green palette, and so many green lovers are like so excited about it, and that's absolutely great. I don't hate this eye look that I created. I think it's pretty. I'm just not like, oh my god, like this is not going to be my favorite palette of his, but it is really pretty. I do see like why he would need to come out with a green palette in the midst of all his stuff. And the trunk is absolutely gorgeous. That's probably my favorite thing, is the packaging, where it's like that mint color, because it's my favorite color, with the nice like gold hardware on it, and it's really pretty packaging. And of course all the shades are super pigmented. Everything is super nice. So let me get these swatches cleaned up. We'll give some final thoughts and then jump into the eye look. Okay guys, so my like final overall thoughts. Everything in the collection is beautiful. Packaging is always beautiful. Like, just, it's Jeffree. We love Jeffree, of course. I'm just not a huge green lover. So like if you're a green lover, this is it. Like this is it. Like you probably wouldn't need any other green palette if you love green. Like this could be totally it. If you happen to not be a Jeffree person that hasn't like purchased any of his palettes, I will say like his packaging is like out there. He has some other like regular palettes that have regular packaging, but the trunks and stuff, they are like luxuriously heavy weighted. I don't know how he makes them the price that he makes them, because people charge like this amount, like $52 for their palette that's in cardboard packaging, and their formula isn't even as good. So I don't know how he does this. It's literally amazing. But these are like heavy palettes. They're not going to be easy, like slim to pack. They're not easy to like hold. I actually used one of my Jeffree mirrors. It's actually one of my newer mirrors that I bought from a friend. It's the matte brown, like chocolate brown mirror, and I love the matte mirrors, like I really, really do. And so whenever he was getting rid of this little baby, I had to adopt her. So thank you, LNEGZ, for this little beauty, if you happen to be watching. Love it. And it also kind of went with this whole situation of me like using the brown gloss and like the brown and the green vibe. Like we've got a whole vibe going here. Also the gloss, Jeffree's glosses, like I said, the formula is really nice, but what I really like about them is like I use them in place of like chapsticks or lip oils. Like I'm a lip oil girl, I'm lip oil all the time, but you can really use Jeffree's glosses like to moisturize your lips. Like they're very, very, very moisturizing. And like I said, the balm, I like the balms. They're very thin. Some people don't like that. I like everything very, very lightweight, so it is a very lightweight balm, but it does work. So if you like heavier stuff, maybe not this for you, but I like it because it's thin. And overall, like all the packaging and everything, like I said, is really nice. Like the whole money theme for Blood Money, like it's very rich, luxurious. Like his shoots were something else, which I was actually really bummed, because usually when you get stuff from a collection, it all goes together. And I did get the money tissue paper, and in the box that had Jeffree's face on the $100 bills. I get rid of all my boxes right now due to COVID. I did save the paper. She looked like this, and it's Jeffree's face on a bunch of $100 bills. But I was hoping for a Blood Money postcard, because you know you get your postcards, and I got a Velvet Trap postcard in my box. So I was a little bummed about that, because I wanted one of the Blood Money photo shoot postcards to have. I have like a bin that has all this like stuff in it, and I wanted one of those Blood Money cards, and I got a Velvet Trap card. So I was kind of like, boo on that, but like it's a postcard, no big deal. So beautiful palette, blended beautifully. All the shades worked really well. All the shades swatched really beautifully. I'm just not the biggest green lover. Let me know if you guys purchased this palette and if you are like living, dying over it, and tell me in the comments so I can go maybe check out y'all's reviews if you've reviewed this palette, if you also create videos. If you ever have any questions for me, I do answer my DMs on my Instagram like all the time. So if you ever want to head over to Instagram and message me any questions about makeup or products or like anything at all, please feel free to do that. I've had some people ask me about like talking to me about channels or talking to me about making videos, like stuff like that. I have no problem talking to you at all whatsoever. Just send me a DM over on Instagram and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I'm going to go ahead and throw the eye look in for you guys right now. So let's get into creating this. Okay guys, so I'm getting in on this eye look. I did have to put the palette down because it's a big heavy trunk, so it was hard to hold, but we did Private Island all over the lid as our base and carried it into the lower lash line as well. And then I went in with the shade Self-Made, starting on the outer corner and crease, and just starting to build up. I really wanted like a bunch of the matte greens that were a little bit deeper on the outer portion of the eye. And I also put in the shade Equity and also the shade Crocodile Tears. So those are all these shades that I kind of put into the outer corner crease area, just kind of building them up together to give like a multi-dimensional tone situation on the outer corner of the eye and into the outer corner of the lower lash, and blending that all out with the fluffy brush from our base shade, and then going into the shade Money Heist on the inner portion of the lid and the shade Emerald Estate on the center of the lid, and really just blending everything together, making a nice gradient of all the colors and blending everything with a brush, and then using Divine Intervention as our inner corner and brow bone highlight. This was a very pretty color with a very pretty shift, very unique. And then we are just going to, ta-da, there's the finished look. I'm gonna finish up the look. That's what I was trying to say. And I did add the lip balm and then used our gloss in the shade Untouchable. I was not feeling false lashes today, so I did just build up my mascara and did a classic black wing on the eye. This brown gloss is really pretty. It's a very interesting tone. I think it looks really pretty with the look. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.